two things for me. One, it's in the US. The US is the biggest market for trade shows in the world. It still represents over 50% of all the value of trade shows is here in North America. The second thing is the candid nature in the way that people are able to talk. I think that's hugely important here. We're able to talk about issues, talk about challenges and opportunities with a level of security and comfort that that's not necessarily going to be reported elsewhere or used and abused. So the candid nature of discussions with minimal fear of them being repeated or misinterpreted. It still makes me smile that in meetings people talk about whether virtual threatens face-to-face. It absolutely doesn't. It's part of the mix. Our business is to help people network and bring people together. Virtual can be part of that. And in fact, everything we've seen so far, whenever we do something online, do a virtual event, it enhances the face-to-face event. It enhances the trade show. So I say maybe we're lucky. We have a business that helps us to do it, but it's going to be a great investment, and it is the future, whether we like it or not. What we are going to see is a lot more growth in the so-called emerging economies. Growth in South America at the moment is phenomenal. Growth in China, growth in India. All of those markets are going to come on, and even markets like Indonesia, Philippines, Turkey, Mexico, all the usual candidates. We just launched a show in Nigeria 3-4 weeks ago in Lagos. It is untapped. The market in Nigeria is huge. There's 190 million people there and a huge energy-driven economy. Small problem is they've only got about 60,000 square foot of exhibition space in Lagos at the moment. So until that improves, it's going to be difficult to put more trade shows in. But it is definitely an opportunity there, and we're looking at what else we can do there. The only way you can grow is being Chinese, being local. We have several local partnerships there. But yeah, there are so many places in China that have state-of-the-art, world-beating exhibition centers in cities that probably you and I have never heard of. So the opportunity is huge. I can only see growth. I think trade shows are here to stay. They're going to continue to grow as long as we're able to adapt and change what we're doing in line with the new technologies and really embrace where they're going and put them as part of it. Then it's only going to be stronger.
Well, and I think the last couple of years, I think everybody, our customers as well as ourselves have had to evaluate the association memberships, the conferences we attend. This is the one that I have not given up. I feel that it's that critically important. It's a peer-to-peer event where you're meeting with the people that are running businesses, large and small. This is where the ideas come from. There's such just a tremendous open sharing of ideas and knowledge of what's working, what's not working, for you to be able to hone your business skills. It's very different than some of the other events that include associations, for-profit producers in the same community. There are a number of association executives that we invite every year, but this is really the meat and potatoes of the entrepreneurship that drives the face-to-face meeting industry. I think there was an initial scare factor a few years ago where now people are saying this actually enhances our business model, and how do we incorporate it to connect with our customers, deliver content, increase profits, and be more valuable to the industry. Certainly we have Facebook pages, we have LinkedIn groups. We've actually, the biggest step we've taken is, and we started an online publication specifically because we didn't want to go into print. And that online publication has just been redeveloped, working with one of the Siso sponsors, ASP Events, that's taking their event technology platform and helping us deliver it into an online news content platform. We're using LinkedIn and community pages within that content site to help reach a larger audience, and it's also going to be a paid content site, so we're actually now making money doing it, which is always a lot more fun than giving it away for free. We have a large contingent of people that exhibit at our show that are from China, India, Sri Lanka. We have some smaller groups that come from Kenya, Nepal, Japan, Korea, Taiwan. And tea is one of these amazing things that truly is. It's a global beverage. And the people that we're dealing with on all levels They grow tea in Portugal now. We have our first Portuguese exhibitor coming to our show. They grow tea in the Caucasus Mountains in Russia. They grow tea now in England. They're growing tea in Hawaii. So where tea is grown really helps us broaden this market, but where tea is consumed is everywhere. And it's just we're really engaged with a global show in a very, we're a small company. We're based in Las Vegas, but we have a global impact with our business. One of the most significant gains that the tea industry made was the number of tea exports into Mexico last year. So Central America, Mexico, Latin America, South America is starting to follow the U.S. pattern where they're starting to increase their tea consumption. So we will be looking very closely at South America and Brazil. The trade show industry is really back at a really healthy pace. People are really excited about the industry. There's going to be a lot more innovation. You're going to see a lot of mergers and acquisitions. And I think there's going to be a tremendous level of growth over the next 3 years for our industry.
There is no comparison for me to any other event that I go to. And honestly, I've used Siso as the model for how we want our events to work. We want our events to have the kind of interaction that happen at Siso. We want our events to be as professionally run, as casual and relaxed, to have as much information sharing between participants. And I think the best evidence of that is that the last two events we've done have been places where Siso is doing their events. So we're following a close track, but I use Siso as my benchmark. I love when big guys gobble up little guys. I'm a little guy. We love to be gobbled up. We're feeder fish for these big guys, so they can come out and gobble all they want. But as far as Siso goes, I can tell you that I've sold 2 shows, one to a Siso member in a deal we negotiated at a Siso CEO conference, another that was sold by a Siso member who assisted us in the transaction. So there's a lot of things going on in the hallways here that have big implications for us, and it's not just the conference sessions. There's deals being made. Honestly, I think some of the shift to electronic media has left some openings. We're finding that, believe it or not, print is a surprise to people now. And so when they get a mailing or they get a postcard, it's getting more notice than when the mailman came with a bundle of mail. There's less mail moving, and for us at least, we're finding that some of that mail is getting noticed before. One of the Siso members actually helped us to set up a licensing deal for one of our brands in China. But frankly, we haven't conquered the U.S. yet, so we're going to keep our eyes on finishing everything we can get out of the U.S. and North America, and then we'll see if there's some other continents we need to conquer too. We've taken the best buyers in a particular market segment, brought them to meet vendors, and controlled the environment so that everyone is there talking to each other by prearranged appointments. It's kind of a speed dating setup. It's still live and it's still face-to-face, but no one has to bring a booth, no one has to roll up a carpet, and no one has to worry about shipping all kinds of things into a big exhibit hall. I think we're going to continue to see some fractionalization. I think the big, ginormous horizontal show is not going to be around in many spaces. So shows are going to continue to balkanize and go after subsets and micro markets and find smaller audiences that are of more value to the people that are there.